What's so amazing to me is your blatant denials or delusions of the actual facts that happen. So when you tell your supporters that you're getting ready to sue people, and you tell them to come after me, I don't take very kindly to threats, Big Joe. And as my mother and my grandmother always told me, you never trust a cockeyed man who's saying anything coming out of his mouth. And you have to be able to look them in their eyes. And if their eyes can't look straight at you, don't trust the word they're saying. And my question to you is, why weren't you at the awards? You were there in the lobby of the hotel that you were not checked in to be at. Were you trying to crash the BET Awards? Because you were bragging for the last 2 or 3 months that you were going to be on the BET Awards. You told everybody on TikTok. You advertised it every chance you got to come all the way from Birmingham, Alabama, husband, and you and him proceed to bypass every 3- and 4-star restaurant in Los Angeles and go to McDonald's. Can you tell me how icons bypass 3- and 4-star restaurants and stop off at McDonald's? But you're rich. You got all this money. And you're on vacation. So you get to your hotel. You decide to go live. And during your live, you say, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, you already knew what you were going to do because there was nothing for you to do. But before you got there, you went online to brag about you were booked for 2 events in Los Angeles, that you were hosting events. This isn't what I say. This is what you have said, that you were hosting events in Los Angeles. Do your fact checking. It's all recorded. Now, what's so interesting to me is if you have been booked and blessed and booked and busy, why was you sitting on your bumpy tail in your hotel room, your Motel 6 upgrade, begging and asking people to book you for promos, and book you to host events in nightclubs? These are questions I have for you. I want to know why it came to dinner time, out of every restaurant that you guys seen on your group tour, on that tour bus you paid $14 each for to tour LA and Beverly Hills, because icons don't take limos and town cars and get driven around. Icons get in a Uber, just a basic Uber, and then Uber to a spot where you get in a tour van and you go around and get shown the town. But once you got done doing that, you guys got hungry, and instead of you going and eating at some of these nice restaurants that the tour guide showed you, you decide to go get you a hot dog from Pinky's. And not only did you get a hot dog with them bare claw hands you got a hot dog with cheese, with bacon, bell peppers and onions, and ketchup on the side. And then you proceed to try to be feminine and act like you can't hold that big hot dog with your bare claw hands, acting like you can't bite it and you can't eat and chew with your oversized mouth. I feel like sometimes we get in our delusions where we actually believe the things that is coming up out of our mouth, that is actually true. But what's really, really interesting is that, and this is all on Big Joe's Live, who do you know that has a manager that won't return your calls when you've flown half across the United States for a BET event, and your artist doesn't even know what garment he's wearing? And he has to ask, who's the designer? Now, I know for a fact that black wrestling suit that you had on was cut down the back because it wasn't designed to fit a silverback. Gowns like that are designed for women, real women, who have breasts, who have curves, who can put the dress up on her shoulders the way that the dress was designed to go on her shoulders. And the unfortunate thing is it had to be altered for you in your hotel, and then you put it on. You proceeded to get your hair and makeup done, and then you proceed to go to the BET Awards with yourself, with radio, and with your manager. Now, what's so interesting to me is that you didn't have a ticket. You didn't purchase a ticket, because let's be honest, if you were invited by the BET Awards, you would have given everything. They give you the treatment. They give you a gift bag. They give you all of the stuff essential for icons and celebrities. But for some reason, they left you off the list. And so you didn't get the personal invite as you claimed you did in a number of your lives, that you were invited to the BET Awards and you're going to walk the carpet. Now, Joe, Big Joe, let me show you something. Let me show you what you should have had you been in the right place. This is what you should have been given at the door. Do you see that? Do you see what I'm showing you? This is what you get when you are there and you're invited. And this is what you need to clear through security. That right there is what you need to get through checkpoints and security. Right there. That's what you need to get you through. And that allows you to go about and reminisce around other talented artists and celebrities and things like that. That's really important here. Let me go on to the next thing. Just bear with me. What you wanted to be able to do and see was this. You wanted to get access to get up those stairs, Joe. You wanted to get access to get up those stairs so that you could get onto that red carpet. But I said it 3-4 days ago, a week ago. I said, in order to get any type of live cattle or animals on the Los Angeles city ordinance requires that you get a permit. You must have a permit. And that permit allows them to bring things such as lions, tigers, silverbacks, gorillas, and apes on the facility so that you can be seen. Now, it's unfortunate for you that you didn't get your proper permits before they attempted to bring you out of your cage. And I'm very sorry for that. So, what do? You show up thinking that you can blend into the crowd. Now, what makes you think a 7'9" linebacker built like somebody came out of Africa could squeeze in and just blend in with everybody else trying to go through the door to get into the BET Awards? What made you think you could blend in? I just don't get it. And I want to be really, really clear before I continue on and get into some more juicy stuff. But I want to be very clear here about something. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Thank you. Please tap the screen. It protects the live. Please tap the screen. Thank you. So here we go. Please tell me, why didn't the icon hit the live button when he got in that hotel lobby where all the other celebrities and people had their phones out, going live and showing every part of their process that they were doing? And the thing is, what's so crazy is I need to explain why Hillary came back to TikTok briefly, and why did Hillary come to address Big Joe? I came back to TikTok because Big Joe had gotten a big head and he started to attack women, single mothers with children, especially African American women. And he would belittle them. He would make fun of them. He would talk about them having nothing, no money, no this. They sell their food stamps every chance they get. They live in Section 8 housing. They getting welfare checks every month, waiting for them to hit. However, what is important to note, my phone just rang, so I had to close it out. What's important to note is Big Joe never made a decision to apologize publicly to African American women with children who he just made nasty comments about. And so I thought, who's the one who can check Big Joe? And I said, you know what, Hillary? I said to myself, you know what, Hillary? Only you have been trained to deal with cattle and animals and tigers and bears. So why not step up to the plate? And so I took the opportunity to say enough is enough. And so I came on this app and I wanted to address Big Joe. Now, in that process of that happening, Big Joe started to act like he was never in my lives. He never was this, he never was that. And finally, after today, for some reason, Big Joe decided to come out of hibernation and he came to join my live. Now, everybody on this app knows that Big Joe is a liar. Everybody knows on this app that you can't trust him no further than you can see him. Everybody knows how disrespectful he is. And let me break it down a little further regarding Star Crunch. You come on this app playing in our face, claiming that you went to Louis Vuitton and Gucci, and that you shopped and you did this to the TIS. And you started pulling out bag after bag. This is a Louis. This is a Gucci. This is my S&L bag. And I have a Birkin bag on the way. Everybody's jealous of you. They're broke. They're mad. So what does Big Joe do? Big Joe goes to Walmart and decides to buy him and Radio a blow-up jacuzzi in the heat of the summer in the Alabama weather with 95 degrees weather, to sit in there and boil like ham hocks and neck bones. I feel like Big Joe didn't think one was enough. So he doubled down and got another jacuzzi. So they had 2 jacuzzis and 1 pool. And what does Big Joe say? Ching, 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 ching. Put it on the floor, all of 24. Which he stole that line from LaQuanda Badass. We know where he stole that from. He's notorious for stealing things from people. Trust me. I ain't got there yet. His inflatable hot tub. So after he proceeds to put on his Dior bathing suit with the side flaps and the shrimp poking out of the side of it, he gets in the pool with his drink. Please tap the screen. It protects the live, everybody. Please tap the screen. They're reporting. Please tap the screen. They are reporting. You've got to tap. We've got to tap. Tap, 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 tap. Throw roses. If you got roses, throw roses and tap the screen. So, Big Joe is sitting in his blow-up hot tub on live, raising up, pulling that thong out between his bumpy butt, passing gas, toxic fumes out that water to where it went from blue to black. I feel like a lot of people feels like if you cook good, you cook good. So everyone is always jealous. Everyone is always obsessed. Everyone's always a hater. But as I take a pause break, my question is, have we heard from the icon? Have we heard from Big Joe why they were not on the red carpet? Have we? Did he go to LA looking for the nearest produce stand to buy up all the bell peppers and onions with Radio's EBT food stamp card? Or were they out trying to book gigs because they didn't have anything to go to? And I feel like if you can't hold yourself accountable for your actions and can't come on and be man enough to apologize to all the women and single mothers that you are so offended and you degraded, and then you have a problem with me addressing your behavior and your actions, and then the only thing that you can do is call on radio to do your dirty work, and now you're asking your supporters to come and get her. The last time I checked, you were 7'9", like I said, built like a linebacker. Why would you need anybody to help you? Don't you have a mouth? Don't you have 6 eyes? 3 in the front and 3 in the back? Aren't you casket ready? And see, the problem is this. Let me tell you this. What these hairstylists, if there's any hairstylist in here that's going to go and do Big Joe's makeup anymore, take a sandblaster with you. They're only $150 on Amazon. Get you a sandblaster and get you about 6 or 7 sheets of that sandpaper. See, Big Joe, when you came for my African American queens who are struggling to raise their kids, and you just want to just think you can walk around this app like you own it, it's time that you are humbled. It's time that you met your match. It's time that you met Hillary Sanchez. See, there was a Hillary Sanchez on TikTok before there was a Miss Netta. See, Miss Hillary Sanchez did her thing. And we already know you can't compare where you can't compete. And we know for a fact I can go on here without makeup and be just as fine and dandy. But you, on the other hand, can you? You talk about all this money you got, but why couldn't you pay for your own food and drinks before they kicked you out of that hotel? Let's talk about that hotel. Do you remember what happened? Do you need a reminder? And I understand that you had got a little bit of money from TikTok and your other thing, and then you went out there and bought that pool and everything. And we know this. When people aren't used to having nothing, they act just like you, boasting and bragging and showing off as soon as you get it set up. That's called showboating, Joe. We can spot a showboater a mile away. And the thing is, you really was setting up there bragging and acting like you was on MTV Cribs. You guys remember MTV Cribs, where they'd bring the camera and the celebrity would open the door and they'd either be in their house or in their pool, and y'all would come in and you could see them and they show you around their place? But see, what Big Joe does is he goes down in Alabama and he buys up all the bell peppers and onions and 1,000 pounds of sugar and Velveeta cheese and all the cheeses from the dollar store, so he can put his bell peppers and onions on deck, his crescent rolls on deck, and make his 30 pounds of ground beef for his 6 noodles that go with his lasagna, and 50 pounds of cheese, and to top it off with some pepperoni. But that's y'all icon. But I want to ask, where and why haven't you posted about what happened while you didn't walk the carpet? If you make a issue and you type something and say you're suing me, let me give you some more evidence to sue me. You were not invited to the BET Awards. You thought you could scam and manipulate your way in, and you got humbled. You got humbled on sight. You aren't this iconic person that you think you are. And because you didn't like being told that you aren't going to get in there because you didn't purchase a ticket, because we now know you couldn't afford a ticket. Or you could have bought the ticket and walked on the carpet. But that would have detailed you to spend between $5,000 or more, and we know you guys didn't have it. And the reason why we know you didn't have it is because radio was trying to sell his EBT card, his food stamp card, to total strangers at an event who they didn't even know. You end up getting detained, and you get searched, among other things that happen to you. It's public information. You should be ashamed of yourself, Joe. The kids that you traumatized in that hotel thought that it was Halloween when they seen you walking through that lobby. Kids was running for their parents because they didn't know what they was looking at. But see, you guys tap the screen. They're reporting the live. They're reporting the live. I have to end this and I'm going to come back. I'm going to end the live and I'm going to come back. They're reporting the live. I have to end it. I'll be back.